Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. There's a moment in every deep connection that changes everything, and most men never even know it happened. She doesn't announce it, there's no ceremony, no obvious shift you can point to, but in her mind, in her heart, you just move from one category into another, and once you're in that new category, you're not just a guy anymore. I'm telling you this because I've watched it happen thousands of times. As a relationship psychologist, I sit in rooms where women say things they'd never say out loud to the men in their lives. And this moment, this specific thing they share, it's the dividing line between men they're testing and men they're choosing. And here's what breaks my heart. Most men receive this moment and don't recognize what they're being given. They respond in ways that close the door before they even realize it was opening. They miss the rarest gift a woman can offer, her unguarded self, because no one ever told them what to look for. So before we go any further, if you want to understand female psychology at a level most men never access, not just the surface level advice, but the actual mechanics of how women choose who to trust with their real selves, hit subscribe, drop a like, and stay with me. Because what I'm about to reveal will change every intimate relationship you have from this point forward. I'm speaking to you not just as someone who studies relationships professionally, but as a woman who's lived this, who's been on both sides of this moment, who's felt the hope when a man gets it right and the disappointment when he misses it completely. Men think love is built on attraction, chemistry, shared interests, and sure, those things matter. They get you in the door, but they're not what makes a woman trust you with the parts of herself she keeps hidden from everyone else. That trust, it's built in one specific moment that most dating advice never even mentions. So let me show you exactly what this moment is, why it matters more than anything else, and how to recognize it when it's happening so you never miss your chance again. First, you need to understand how women categorize men. Because whether you know it or not, every woman you interact with is sorting you into one of three categories from the moment she meets you. The first category is the placeholder. These are men she spends time with but doesn't invest in emotionally. She might date him, sleep with him, even enjoy his company. But there's a ceiling. She's not thinking long term. She's not imagining a future. She's not letting him see her without her armor on. The second category is the potential. This is where most good men live. She sees qualities she values. She's attracted. She's interested. But she's still watching, still evaluating. Can he handle her complexity? Can he hold space for her emotions? Can he be trusted with the truth of who she is? She hasn't decided yet. And then there's the third category, the chosen. This is the man she's decided to trust. Not just with her time or her body, but with her unfiltered thoughts, her fears, her wounds, the parts of herself she usually hides because they're too much or too messy or too real. Once you're in this category, everything changes. The walls come down, the performance stops, you get the real her. Now, here's what you need to know. Moving from category 2 to category 3 doesn't happen through grand gestures or perfect dates or impressive achievements. It happens in one moment. One specific moment when she shares something with you that she's terrified to share, and your response to that moment determines everything. What she shares isn't a secret. It's not gossip or a confession or scandal. It's something far more intimate. It's a vulnerability. A real one, the kind that could change how you see her. It might be her talking about the panic attack she had last Tuesday that made her cancel plans. It might be her admitting she still thinks about an ex who hurt her. It might be her sharing that she feels like a fraud at work despite her success. It might be her telling you about the eating disorder she's been managing for years. What all of these have in common is this. They're truths about her that don't fit the image she usually projects. They're the gaps between who she seems to be and who she actually is. And by sharing them with you, she's asking a question she's not saying out loud, can you handle the real me? Or do you need me to keep pretending? So here it is, the moment that changes everything. the specific thing she trusts you with. It's her sharing a vulnerability, a real one, not a curated one, and watching to see if you can handle it without flinching, without fixing, without making it about you. But here's what most men don't realize. It's not just about what she shares. It's about the fact that she's sharing it at all. Women don't reveal their unguarded selves to men they're unsure about. If she's showing you the messy, complicated, unglamorous parts of who she is, she's already decided you might be safe, but she's not certain yet. Your response confirms or destroys that hope. Picture this. You're together, maybe late at night when defenses are lower. She gets quiet for a moment. Then she says something like, "Can I tell you something I don't usually talk about?" Or, "I've been thinking about something and I don't know if I should say it." Or she just starts talking, but you can hear the vulnerability in her voice, the slight shake, the careful word choice, the way she's watching your face. In that moment, her nervous system is on high alert. Her heart is racing. She's terrified and hopeful at the same time because she's not just sharing information. She's handing you the power to hurt her, and she's hoping, desperately hoping, that you won't. Now, let me tell you why this single moment matters more than months of perfect dates, romantic gestures, or even great chemistry. First, it's the only real test of whether you want her or the idea of her. Most men fall in love with the version of a woman she performs. Confident, put together, emotionally regulated, fun. But that's not who she is all the time. That's who she is when she's managing your impression of her. When she shares her vulnerability, she's showing you who she is when she's not performing. And if you respond well, if you show her that you can handle her reality, she learns she doesn't have to exhaust herself managing your perception anymore. That's when real intimacy becomes possible. Second, it confirms whether you're emotionally safe. Women have learned, usually through painful experience, that most men can't handle female complexity. They want the fun parts, the easy parts, the parts that make them feel good. But the anxiety, the sadness, the unresolved trauma, the body image issues, most men check out or get uncomfortable or try to fix it so they don't have to sit with it. So when she shares something vulnerable and you don't run, don't minimize, don't try to solve it, when you just hold space for it, you're proving you're different. You're proving she can bring all of herself into this relationship, not just the easy parts. Third, your response to her vulnerability is how she decides what your future together will look like. If she shares something hard and you handle it with grace, she starts imagining the hard moments ahead, loss, grief, failure, crisis, and believing you can handle those too. If you fumble it, she starts imagining going through those moments alone, even while you're together. And that's a lonely future no one wants. So it's not just about this one vulnerable thing she shared. It's about every vulnerable thing she'll ever need to share. Your response tells her, is this man safe enough to build a life with? Or do I need to keep my walls up even if we stay together? Now let me show you how most men destroy this moment without even realizing it. Because the instinct to do the wrong thing is strong, and if you don't know what to avoid, you'll sabotage the deepest connection of your life. The first wrong response is trying to fix it. She tells you about her anxiety, and you immediately jump to solutions. Have you tried meditation? Maybe you should talk to a therapist. You just need to exercise more. You think you're being helpful. You're actually communicating, I can't handle your pain as it is. I need it to go away so I can feel comfortable again. The second wrong response is minimizing. She shares something painful and you say, it's not that bad, or everyone goes through that, or you're overthinking it. You think you're reassuring her. You're actually telling her, your feelings aren't valid. You're being dramatic. I don't take your inner world seriously. The third wrong response is making it about you. She tells you something vulnerable and you immediately respond with your own story or your own feelings about what she said. Oh man, I totally relate. Let me tell you about my situation. Or, wow, I had no idea you felt that way. Now I'm worried about you think you're connecting. You're actually saying, I can't hold space for your experience because I need to center my own. The fourth wrong response is pulling away. She shares something heavy and you get quiet, change the subject, create distance. Maybe you don't respond for hours. Maybe you suddenly become busy. You think you're protecting yourself from intensity. You're actually confirming her deepest fear that the real her is too much. Notice what all these wrong responses have in common. They're all about managing your own discomfort with her vulnerability. And she can feel that. She can feel when you need her to be different, smaller, easier, so you can stay comfortable. And in that moment, she knows, I can't be real with this person, so what's the right response? It's simpler than you think, but it requires something most men haven't developed. The ability to be present with discomfort without needing to change it. First, receive what she's sharing without flinching. Don't let shock or discomfort show on your face. Don't pull back physically. Don't change your energy. She needs to see that her vulnerability doesn't make you uncomfortable, doesn't make you see her differently, doesn't make you want to create distance. Second, acknowledge what it took for her to share this with you. You can say something simple like, thank you for trusting me with this, or I know that wasn't easy to say, or I'm honored that you feel safe enough to tell me. This does two things. It recognizes her courage, and it confirms that you understand the weight of the moment. Third, hold space for her experience without trying to fix, minimize, or redirect it. This might mean asking, do you want to talk more about it? Or do you just need me to listen? It might mean sitting in silence with her. It might mean saying, that sounds really hard. I'm here. The key is presence, not solutions, not reassurance, just your steady, calm presence with whatever she's feeling. When you respond this way, here's what you're telling her. Your complexity doesn't scare me. Your pain doesn't make me uncomfortable. I don't need you to be different than you are. I can handle all of you, not just the easy parts. You're safe with me. And when a woman hears that, really hears it and believes it, something shifts. The guardedness falls away. The performance stops. You stop being a man she's evaluating and become the person she chooses, not because you're perfect, because you can handle her reality. Now you might be wondering, if the right response is this simple, why do so many men get it wrong? First, men are socialized to be fixers and problem solvers. From childhood, you're taught that your value comes from your ability to fix things, protect, provide solutions. So when a woman you care about is in pain, every instinct says, solve this, fix this, make it better. But emotional pain doesn't work like a broken car. It needs witness, not repair. Second, most men are deeply uncomfortable with female emotion, especially negative emotion. Anger, sadness, anxiety, these make men feel helpless, and feeling helpless feels like failing. So the instinct is to make the emotion go away as quickly as possible, either by fixing it, minimizing it, or avoiding it entirely. Third, real intimacy is terrifying. When a woman shares her unguarded self, you're being invited into a level of closeness that many men aren't prepared for. It means being seen, being known, being trusted with someone's fragility. And that level of responsibility, knowing you have the power to hurt someone who's made themselves vulnerable to you, that's scary. I'm not saying this to criticize. I'm saying it to help you understand why your instincts might lead you astray in this moment. Because awareness is the first step. When you know why you want to fix, minimize, or withdraw, you can choose a different response instead. So let's say you do get it right. You receive her vulnerability with grace. You hold space without trying to change anything. What happens next? In the immediate moment, you'll feel it. The energy changes. She relaxes. There's often this exhale, like she's been holding her breath and can finally release it. She might get emotional, Not because something's wrong, but because being seen and accepted for who she really is feels like coming home after a lifetime of hiding. In the days and weeks that follow, she'll start sharing more. Smaller vulnerabilities, bigger ones. She'll let you see her without makeup, both literally and metaphorically. She'll stop censoring her thoughts. She'll tell you when she's having a bad day instead of pretending everything's fine, because you've proven she doesn't have to perform for you anymore. And this is when you move from potential to chosen. She stops evaluating whether you can handle her and starts building a life with you. She stops holding part of herself back and brings her full self into the relationship. You become the person she turns to when things are hard, not the person she protects from her difficulties. Once a woman has experienced being fully accepted by you, real acceptance, not tolerance, she doesn't forget it. It becomes the foundation of everything between you. Not passion, not compatibility, not shared interests. The knowledge that she can be herself with you and you won't require her to be different. But here's what you need to understand. This moment doesn't come with a second chance. When a woman shares a real vulnerability with you and you respond poorly, when you fix, minimize, self-center, or withdraw, she doesn't typically give you another opportunity. She doesn't say, hey, you failed my test, try again. She just stops sharing. The walls go back up. The performance resumes. And you might never know what you lost because you never had access to it in the first place. In her mind, you've moved from potential back to placeholder. She might stay with you. You might have a pleasant relationship, but you'll never have her real trust. You'll get the managed version of her for as long as you're together. And she'll keep the real version hidden, waiting for someone who can handle it. And here's the cruelest part. You might never even realize she was testing you. You might think everything's fine. Meanwhile, she's already made the decision that you're not the one she can be unguarded with. So I want you to think back. Has a woman in your life shared something vulnerable with you recently? Did you recognize it for what it was? How did you respond? Because if you're honest with yourself, you might realize you've been receiving these moments and missing them. But here's the good news. If you haven't received this moment yet, now you know what to look for. And if you fumbled it in the past, you can do better next time. Maybe not with the same woman, but with the next one who trusts you enough to try. Let me bring this all together. The moment a woman shares her real vulnerability with you, when she lets you see the parts of herself she usually hides, that's when you stop being just a guy and become her person, but only if you can handle it. Only if you can be present with her pain, her fear, her complexity, without needing to fix it or make it go away. This isn't about manipulation or games. This is about a woman trying to figure out if she's safe with you, if she can show you who she really is without losing you, because hiding yourself from the person you're closest to is exhausting and lonely. And every woman is looking for the man who makes hiding unnecessary. And by the way, this doesn't just apply to romantic relationships. This is how trust works with anyone. Your friends, your family, your colleagues. When someone shares something vulnerable with you, how you respond determines whether they ever trust you with their real self again. So what I'm really teaching you here is a life skill. How to hold space for someone else's humanity without needing to fix it, judge it, or make it about you. And that skill, it's rare. It's valuable. It's what separates surface level connections from soul deep ones. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever shared something vulnerable with someone and had them respond in a way that made you feel completely safe? Or have you been on the other side, receiving someone's vulnerability and not knowing how to handle it? Let's talk about it. If this changed how you see relationships, subscribe. Because I make videos like this every week, breaking down the invisible dynamics that determine whether relationships thrive or struggle, not surface level advice. The actual psychology of connection, trust, and intimacy. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, the deepest connections aren't built on perfection. They're built on your ability to see someone completely and not need them to be different.